Hello, I'm Maria Hall Brown, and this is LA Currents. Well, there are over 60 species of the favorite garden flower, the hollyhock, but there's only one precious hollyhock house, and it's here in Los Angeles. And I am delighted today to be in the Hollyhock house, and I am joined by Daniel Tarica, the interim general manager of the Department of Cultural Affairs here in Los Angeles, and Abby Chamberlain Brock, the curator of the Hollyhock house. You've got the best job in the city, I think.
It is a joy to care for this house.
All right. To say that this entire facility, this beautiful property designed by Frank Lloyd Wright, was a unique undertaking would be an incredible understatement. So how did this home originally get to be, and what's its story?
So this is Frank Lloyd Wright's first Los Angeles commission, and when Aline Barnsdall met Frank Lloyd Wright in 1915, it wasn't a house that she was asking him to build, it was a theater. She purchased this property 4 years later, and the scope of that commission grew immensely. So plans that Wright was working on included the theater, director's house, studio, artist spaces, as well as a house for Barnsdall, 2 guest houses, a cinema for movies. It was a really ambitious plan that ended up only being partially realized with the main house and 2 guest houses.
Okay, but she didn't keep it. How did it get into the wonderful hands of the city of Los Angeles?
So the city got very lucky in how this all played out. So Aline Barnsdall had completed the work on the house and the residences in 1921 and had the opportunity to experience what they might be like and really think about what her vision would look like for the Hill. She had the chance with Frank Lloyd Wright architecture, while incredibly inspiring, a little bit challenging to maintain, and decided that it might be better served to open it up and provide it for the city as a benefit. So in 1927, she donated this campus, the 12 acres here atop of Olive Hill, now known as Barnsdall Park, Hollyhock House, and Residence A to the city. So we're overjoyed to be able to have this and to be able to help really execute her vision of an arts campus.
We're still wonderfully blessed by the fact that we have the opportunity to experience it now. And the fact that it is a UNESCO World Heritage designation, that is extraordinary and I don't use that word lightly because I think it's overused. There are only, a little over 1,100 in the world? That's an incredible thing to have that here at LA. How does that mean for the city of Los Angeles?
So we, through the work of our staff, through the work in their partnership with Frank Lloyd Wright Conservancy, we were able to achieve this UNESCO World Heritage designation in July of 2019. It's the city's, actually for the UNESCO designation, it's the first modern architecture designation in the United States. So it's part of a serial nomination of 7 other sites throughout the US that really recognize the great work of Frank Lloyd Wright. And what it does is it provides inspiration through the architecture to really understand and see what the site does, how it interacts with the nature around it, and the different architectural aspects to it as well.
So what is a UNESCO World Heritage designation?
Thank you.
Well, I mean, because I know, but I think that it's hard to express what it means to actually be in that category.
Right, so the UNESCO designation means it is through a larger international body that was created in 1972 to be able to recognize sites with universal value for folks to enjoy. It's the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. So what it does, there are sites throughout the world that really recognize that value and what they serve and how it helps build recognition for this work here in the United States, in Los Angeles. And it's actually the first site here in Los Angeles and the first architectural site here in California.
It's wonderful to tour, and it's wonderful to be, awakened to what's in here, but I would imagine that this home and everything about it is hugely studied. Are there a lot of researchers that participate in understanding what's happening here? Do you get a lot of inquiries from universities around the world, or architecture students just voraciously excited to be in here? I mean, those that really want to know something maybe beyond the casual tourist, is there an enormous amount of attention there too?
I'm always impressed by how many architects and architectural historians make this one of their most important stops here in Los Angeles. It is such an important transitionary project for Wright in understanding his work and where he went between his prairie style and the work to come afterwards. So there has been a lot of scholarship on the house, but there's always new discoveries to be made, and that's been really thrilling willing to work with other scholars and also make those discoveries ourselves in how we get to interpret this place.
And is it unusual for someone of his regard or in that particular era to also design the furniture elements and some of the things that were interior to the home?
In the early 20th century, there was a very clear move to designing comprehensive interiors, so a total work of art where all of the design elements reinforced each other in a unified vision. So Frank Lloyd Wright was a master of that here in the United States. And for Hollyhock House, furnishings were just designed for the living room and the dining room, but the carpets in the living room space, the textiles, all are variations on that hollyhock motif. He would outsource the fabrication of the furniture, but he designed beautiful elements that we're seeing here that are abstractions of that hollyhock and create a unified whole.
So the idea, you speak of art, the idea of this entire complex is to be, obviously enhanced by the Frank Lloyd Wright properties and builds, but also this is an art center. There's more here. You mentioned some of the things that were happening during the opening, but what is the grand plan for this wonderful park for the citizens of Los Angeles?
So the way the department has been able to really execute Aline Barnsdall's vision has been over the last, say, probably 50 plus years to be able to add the Barnsdall Gallery Theater and the Los Angeles Municipal Art Gallery.
See, now there is a theater.
We finally have gotten the theater, and we also have a phenomenal art center. We have the Barnsdall Art Center and the Barnsdall Junior Art Center, where adults can take classes and youth can take classes. So these are really part of the city's cultural landscape. So it really has been an opportunity for the department and the city to capture all of the great opportunities and cultural events that are happening up here.
So it's an exciting space. And if you can't make this up here, if you're out of the state or, there is an opportunity, however, to enjoy it virtually, is there not?
Yeah, so in 2019, we debuted our virtual accessibility experience. It's a virtual tour that offers 360 views and interpretive materials on the house. So that can be used here on site for visitors that aren't able to navigate into spaces that require stair rises or tight passageways, but anybody from home. And it was something that was just such a wonderful resource through the pandemic that people could still experience the interiors virtually.
As curator, you have probably more opportunity to dig and to tour and to hang and to just be than anyone. So is there a particular part of this house that you have discovered that maybe has not been necessarily focused on or recognized? Or is there some magical discovery that you have made that really added to the whole story of what happened here?
Well, it is a pleasure to be in this house, and every day going through new things come to light. The most exciting as of late was during the pandemic, we purchased a painting. I was a fateful eBay search pulled up a painting that was from Aline Barnsdall's collection, and it was done by a California Art Club member. Barnsdall was a major art collector, and so it's just, she had dozens of Monets, Gauguins, but this was one that was done by a member of the art club who wrote about what it was like to display art here at the house. And so that painting has come back to the house, and we've just recently reinstalled it on the wall in a location where Barnsdall once had a painting right before you head on into the gallery. So you can really appreciate that kind of layered history and long legacy for art and culture here at the house.
I have to say that the different directions and the different ways you can enjoy this property are almost uncountable. And I can understand why it's on the UNESCO World Heritage list, because this is precious beyond belief. So I want to thank you both, but the last most important thing is you mentioned it once before, but if people want more information.
Absolutely. If they want more information on this and any of our other sites we actually have 36 sites throughout the city and other historic sites as well that I highly encourage folks to come visit. Go to our website at culturela.org, and there you will find information on Barnsdall Park and our many other historic sites, theaters, and art centers throughout the city.
I can't thank you both enough. I mean, this is just fascinating beyond belief, and I just can't wait to sort of do a little peek once I get out of this chair, but thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Maria. It's really been a pleasure.
Okay, thank you. And that's a wrap on this LA Currents.